Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to At the Gates. So today we are going to be focusing on trying to get our steel production pipeline going. What we need really is, first of all, more iron. I think we still need tools coming in, so we're going to need another source of iron in order to make steel out of it while still maintaining tool production. We do have an iron deposit, yeah, over here, not too far away. So once we get... Let's see. This is producing a field of control that keeps these resources available to us. I guess once we get maybe a ranch up on the sheep or the cows, we can probably pull this watchtower down, move the watchtower over to here, get this set up, and then build a mine on top of this iron. Because not only is it the case that we need more iron, but remember, our current iron is about to run out. We're going to drop down to 0 iron production very, very soon. A stone iron mine will produce more iron. Quite a bit more iron, because remember, we're going to have the engineer and everything. I think it should be fine. We should be under control. Another thing I was thinking is that if we have some extra people who are not needed in the steel weapon and armor pipeline, we should maybe try to get another guildmaster going. The good stuff that we would like from the Caravan is quite expensive, and guildmasters are very effective at producing treasure once you're committed to this linear, because not only will each guildmaster produce, you know, quite a bit of treasure on their own, but each one is another clan settled in an honor profession, thus improving the effectiveness of all your other guildmasters. So it's really quite a lot of money. Unfortunately, I just don't... With steel armor and weapons being as expensive as they are, and still being an uncertainty even at the highest level of the Caravan, you probably can't run a strategy to get to the end of the game that is entirely based on treasure, no matter how much treasure you are producing. We could, however, use all that extra treasure to supplement our purchases, right? We could buy more iron and thus be able to produce the steel faster and whatnot. Anyway, that's the direction. That's the plan here. So, we have cows. We now know how to train someone to be a cheesemaker. Are you a farmer? You're a farmer, okay. I sort of wish I'd made you a rancher, honestly. Well, you know what? We'll build a farm on this wheat, and then that'll cover both the animals, and we won't worry too much about this one. So, yeah, you're headed for this wheat, and then we can pull the watchtower. You are to... hold on just a little bit longer. And at this point, I suppose it makes sense to just finish Steel Armor Smith. Although, actually, what are the cheesemaker upgrades? 20 tools for cheese increased by half. And Ted... okay. So let's get cheesemaker upgrade number 1, which we actually could pay for, and seems pretty powerful. So we're going to retrain the hunter into a man-at-arms. I think that's very important. And then, from there, we can go back to focusing on economic-type stuff. Hopefully, no big fights will start while we are trying to get this done. You need to become a man-at-arms. Apparently, you need... It would be best if we could discipline train you a little bit, but I just don't have any parchment. Yeah, whatever. We'll just sit through the 4-turn training. It's not ideal, but neither is swapping over to parchment. Although I guess, here's a question. Should I be on parchment anyway? Oh, that's right, our deposit's gonna run out. Never mind. Never mind, not a real concern. We're not going to be able to produce enough parchment for it to matter either way. Alright, so now we can... go ahead and get Steel Armor Smiths, and then I think we actually have all of the knowledge that we need to have to win the game. And actually probably a bunch of stuff that we didn't end up needing. The gluttonous but esteemed Clan Reinald has joined. So the fact that they're esteemed means they're already ennobled, and they would like not to be in agriculture, livestock, or metalworking. That's a real shame. Because, man, I would love to have you in livestock or agriculture right now. And also, you eat a lot of food. That's probably not a big deal. Cheesemaking is a livestock profession. We gotta figure out who's gonna do that. I guess it could be these guys. But you don't want to be a metal worker either, right? Well, it's just a training time and XP thing. They won't get unhappy. So, yeah, we'll just force them into a profession they'd rather not be doing, I think. It is unfortunately the case that we just need people to do interior work. So you're engineer, you're cutting our stone blocks, you're making the tools, which is still important. Yeah, alright. Oh, I have to give you something. Well, I think we're gonna make them the cheesemaker. I think that's really important. So we will just suffer through the longer training time. Get a wheat plantation up. And you are all done with that. No, please do not. Please do not take the path that runs adjacent to a bandit camp. In fact, kind of loops all the way around a bandit camp. That's not going to work. Alright, so this wheat farm is currently made of wood and is very close to running out of resources. This is a gold mine. Alright, so we want to... Probably, the next thing we want to do with stone is fix this. Once that farm is up, we can move the watchtower. We have plenty of wood now. So we want to wait until we're actually going to have the 20 stone, though. So I want to start pulling up the farm next turn, right? If we had happened to cross the Roman Empire, I would have maybe given a shot to actually taking them by force, although my suspicion, based on the military that I witnessed while running around the map after we won the last game, is that like a single man-at-arms might actually be able to handle them. The AI really doesn't seem to build a lot of military. So what do we want to do here? What would still be helpful? Efficiency on the steelmaker would probably be good. Tools or blocks. Those are both upgrades that we reasonably could do. We're definitely in a upgrade our existing professions kind of mode here. Speaking of upgrading our existing professions, do we want to do any of that? You could be producing the stone a little bit faster, but right, that doesn't actually help us. We're already getting the stone faster than we can possibly use it. You already have an upgrade. Yeah, nobody here has an upgrade that we can actually give them. This costs steel tools, but it sure would be nice to have. Okay, that's 20 alcohol. It's a fair amount of treasure, though. We do have the ability to make alcohol. I probably won't bother. But we could really have supercharged the treasure production if we wanted to devote a bunch more effort to that. I'm just not sure that the reward would end up being worthwhile. Okay, there's some feuding occurring. Please abandon this. Hey. Plan... Arminius and Einar. Yep, it is in fact the Man-at-Arms clan. They couldn't be in the settlement for 4 turns without starting to fight. Well, I'm going to punish them because, oh, that sucks. Well, you know what? They might finish training in Man-at-Arms anyway. Yeah, I'm going to punish them because bad happiness doesn't really seem to have that much of an effect on your combat prowess. And then I think you guys just have to come home. I suppose we could have them like dig stone, but like what would be the value of that? Again, we're already getting more stone than we can use. Come on, please don't let the loss of your discipline levels affect your training time. You're so close to being done. Okay, cool, it worked. And, oh, interesting. She jumped back up to 7 levels of the discipline. That's probably a bug, right? That's probably not how that's supposed to work. Alright, now build me a wheat plantation. Getting that food in here again. The cheesemaker will not solve all of our food problems by themselves, but they will get us close-ish. Alright, the caravan has returned. So you have some steel tools available, no steel weapons or armor. They do have cattle available. So how far are we from the highest rate of cheese production from our cattle? Cheesemakers can make... Okay, we can make cheese from up to 40 of an animal. So if I could get 10 more of an animal... Although I guess I don't really have to do that. Because if we just replace this pasture with a stone pasture, it will double the number of cows, right? Somehow. They'll hear about the nice construction, and all the cows from miles around decide to come and vacation here. So I guess that's not really... Like, I don't really need to buy the cows. We can buy more salt. We don't actually have a source of salt. As soon as we start making cheese, we're losing salt every turn. And then we can buy steel tools, I guess. Those are expensive, though. I might actually take it a little bit easy here. What month is it? It is late September. Wondering about buying food as well. I think we're going to buy all the salt. And then I'm going to buy some food. I'm going to buy 10 extra turns worth of food. That probably will keep us cool through the winter. And at this point, I believe we go for the cheesemaker. Yeah, that's not a bad training time. Alright, I think we should... I probably didn't actually even need to buy that food, considering the cheesemaker... I was afraid the cheesemaker was going to take a long time to train because of his training time doubling thing, but I didn't have to be afraid of that, because that was a piece of information that we could have, right? I could have just started the training before buying stuff from the caravan. Ah, well. An aggressive hoarder has joined. That's a clan that we're going to want out of the settlement. Don't know exactly in what capacity, but just outside. Probably as a rancher, right? Oh, yeah, and you can pull this up. Yeah, rancher makes sense. So, I was going to go and finish cleaning out the bandits with our extremely powerful man-at-arms. Way more than up to the task. Alright, so we have the cheesemaker upgrade that we are likely to be able to afford. What else are we doing that we want upgrades on? Our block cutter has an upgrade available. I'm not 100% certain whether I bought that or not. I think I probably did. Honestly, the odds of us getting to use this upgrade are pretty poor. Obviously, it would be really good to have, but I don't know that we can do that. Yeah, boards are a little bit of a problem. We could get upgrades to the steel weaponsmith and the steel armorsmith, just to really speed along the production of the weapons and armor. Okay, so now that we have a cheesemaker, we are probably okay on food. We'll probably be alright on food for some time. Alright, people are switching religions for Attila, because everybody loves Attila so much. Alright, you gotta get trained in something, and then you gotta get out of the settlement. And I am absolutely willing to spend these tools to upgrade our cheese-making capabilities, although apparently this is not the screen from which to do that. So... yeah, you're not particularly good or bad at anything. You just need to not be in the settlement. We need... honestly, what we need is mining more than anything, right? I just need more... do we need more mines? Do we have access to more things to mine? We can mine more gold pretty easily. And we will need a miner for this. So yeah, I guess that can be your deal. You will train in metalworking to become a miner. And you will, of course, get into a feud with somebody before we can possibly get you out of the settlement. Because that's just how you do things. Alright, you have lost the ability to forage because of the cold. Well, we could look around a little bit. Oh, hey! Bandits. I was just thinking, you know, we'll come back to this once it's no longer so cold. But maybe we won't come back to gathering those berries because we might be dead. I guess let's see. I hate to be cavalier about this, but the loss of that clan is not really a big deal. Like, that's a pretty low impact clan. Do we want to turn the man-at-arms around? Because that clan is not too far from our farm. And that bandit camp over there is not currently a problem for us. Yeah, let's go back and see if we can put this back together. Alright, you apparently are going to need to encamp to continue making it across. Can't retrain because we can't continue training them up because we don't have any parchment. So we're just going to have to endure them being in the settlement for one extra turn. Probably it won't be a big deal. And Rude has become angry. Sorry, what was their deal? What did they want? Oh yeah. The rancher, right? Well, he's just gonna have to stay angry. This is his lot in life. Okay, so we have apparently incoming bandits from a couple of directions, right? That's not the same bandit. That's annoying. I don't want to have to put up with this. Alright, so studying professions, what is even good anymore? It still is the case that this would be nice to have. Let's research it. Maybe we can figure out the boards, maybe we can't. 30's a lot. Obviously we could buy them. We can maybe buy them. I don't think the Caravan has 30 boards, so we're probably going to have to buy them over 2 Caravan visits. Yeah, we got lots and lots of incoming. All of a sudden, it looks like maybe this isn't going to be enough military units. Shockingly good coordination from a bunch of pre-cell phone bandits. Alright. What's up, Crocus of the Alamani? Let me guess. We're going to settle this through war. Oh, no, he wants me to convert to his religion. Don't make me laugh. My global reputation is rising, despite the fact that what that actually means is that everybody hates me. Kind of a strange thing. You know, I don't really need to spend... Oh, that's the Briner upgrade anyway. I was just thinking, like, I'm actually kind of okay on food. I assume this number is yellow because it's, like, very close to 0. Ah, 50% loss to spoilage when stockpile contains 24. Okay. So yeah, we really, really did not need to buy the extra cheese. It was not very expensive. Oh, what's going on? Why was there combat sounds? These guys can't be pillaging, right? They moved multiple tiles and then started pillaging? Well, I have 67.5 times their attack power. So something tells me I'll be alright. Although we're going to have to hastily go over and do that thing. Yep, we need this iron very badly. I should probably figure out exactly where I want to put that watchtower. So close to walking on open ground. Alright, we have a clan of archers and woodsmen, who I guess will just have run out and help clean up bandits for the moment, because we need a little bit of help. One of my structures, they were pillaging it. It looks like it did not actually get pillaged. They probably needed to complete the turn standing on it. Okay, so, you guys. Are we going into steelmaking right now? Probably, right? So we're short tools, but that won't be true anymore in the very near future. Yeah, I'm definitely going to put them into metalworking. How far am I from depleting this gold deposit over here? Okay, so another pillage is occurring. Unfortunately, that one's gonna finish. Although that clan seems to have disappeared. Yeah, where did the bandits go? Did they die? Was the blizzard too much for them? I'm immobilized. That's extremely annoying. So over here we have a bandit raider with 10 whole power, who apparently is going to come over here and also pillage stuff. I am very annoyed by all of a sudden all of this bandit coordination. I mean, we'll get through it. It's not going to be a big deal. It is annoying. Alright, so where are we actually going to put this watchtower? The iron is the only thing we actually need to grab, right? We could get more berry patches, but we don't really need the food from that. We don't really need to pick up the deer. Unlike other kinds of animals, deer cannot be added to your stockpile by constructing a pasture on them. Oh, so actually there's not even any benefit to picking up the deer deposit then. Sorry, the deer herd. It's a naturally occurring deposit of deer. So I guess we'll do it over here. Like, 1, 2, 3, like somewhere around here gets us gets us all 3 of these deposits, probably. That'll be fine. Alright, you guys have to wait 1 turn before we can start training you as a steelmaker because of the tools. So I will produce treasure for a turn, because we don't have any parchment to do any more training. And I guess let's pursue even more Guildmaster upgrades. I don't know what the odds are of us ever actually doing that, but I do think Guildmasters are very good. We are legitimately going to be able to afford a pack of steel weapons, or steel armor, at the next caravan. We have 5 more turns before this becomes degraded. I guess we could just have you pull it down now and then rebuild it. Blizzard is slowly moving over all of my territory and keeping me from moving to reinforce anything, which is just extremely annoying. Like, honestly, that might be the spot right there. Just like this slowly walking everybody around turn by turn by turn. Alright, so we can start. It feels bad to go 7 turns of training. Maybe I'd be best off. No, let's just do it. I was gonna say maybe I'd be best off waiting a little bit and then getting parchment from the animal herd, but by the time I wait, start bringing in the parchment from the animal herd, then actually do the retraining, we're probably talking about a difference of a very small number of turns. It's probably fine to just have him training for that long. And then we are studying, I don't know, man, some kind of profession. I guess upgrades to the steel armor smith. What's the most likely? Okay, these both suck hugely, actually. I guess that one? The stone block thing's not even like the end of the world, it's just a lot of stone blocks. Oh, hey, look! We are actually getting attacked by another player. Okay, well, these bandits backed off. So I guess let's turn around. We are being attacked by another player with what looks like 2 archers and a hunter. Oh, right, pulling up this mine is kind of a problem because this mine was responsible for the area of effect that the mine was on. Well, that's fine. We'll just have him rebuild his mine on the other gold deposit. It's not a big deal. So is it right here? Yeah, this is as good as anywhere else. Alright, so you have run out that patch of berries you were gathering from. I don't really... I guess we'll just come over here and gather from those ones. Winter is a time of great tedium in our lands. Thank God for all this naturally growing wheat. It will sustain us and make us strong. You ever just like be in a wheat field and think, ah, I'm tired. I can hardly continue on. But then realize that you could just bend down and take a big bite out of the wheat. And all of a sudden, you are renewed, refreshed. I appreciate that we actually do get attacked. Like, it's nice that this is a thing that can actually happen. Because as of the end of our last game, it didn't really look like there was any good reason to build military units. Here we see a little something. I guess we'll... You're not way weaker than this guy. You're a tiny little bit weaker than this guy. I'm going to split the units up. I shouldn't have had the archer come back. Because the fact is, the man-at-arms extremely has this under control. It's not necessary for us to devote so many units to this fight. And I'm not too worried about approaching here, because they're not going to be able to get into my tile in one turn anyway. You need to start making parchment for us. Cloth is... How much cloth are we going to need? 40. But it's not an immediate concern. We'll just get a little bit of parchment to work with, and then we'll switch back over. Alright, are they going to actually fight us, or... No. Wait, what's being... Oh, the pillaging is happening over here, right? I was like, why did they make that noise? They're clearly not pillaging that. But right, it's the other thing. Alright, well, we will repair that. I want very badly to attack them, but I cannot do it this turn. Let's just step here, and if they want to get into some trouble, then they can get into some trouble. So, what is the best way to move this guy? I think this should be pretty safe, because you can't move from a tile in someone's zone of control to another tile in someone's zone of control easily. Here we need an iron shaft mine. You just need to make your way over to this berry bush. Although, honestly, no. That's probably what you need to do is come home. We don't need more gathering right now. We got ourselves a filthy, squeamish tribe. Which I guess... Man, that's awkward. That's a bad set of traits you've got there. I guess we could set up a farm on either the honey or the grapes, so as to be able to make alcohol again. Because this is not someone we want in the village or in the settlement on the metal pipeline. And we're waiting on the iron to start coming in anyway. Yeah. We'll finish the steelmaker, because getting the steelmaker online is pretty important. And then we'll have that person leave and do something else. Okay. That's under control. We can repair this pretty easily, right? Yeah, it's not a big deal. Also, we sort of don't even need to. Are they? Oh, okay. I think they're actually in our movement radius here, because this tile's not wooded. So let's just crush their entire army with my single unit. Like, completely trivially. Cowards! Look at you surviving. That's right, I'm casting survival as a cowardly act. How dare they? Alright, religious conversions. Seems like the Roman Empire is very willing to convert under threats from minor barbarian tribes. I don't know if that is historically accurate or not. My guess is probably not, but it is just a guess. Okay, here's a question. Do we want to buy steel tools, or do we want to buy steel weapons, or do we want to try to make both of those things work? How many steel tools do I actually need for what I'm doing? We need steel tools to train the armor smiths, but it's only 10. So if we buy these steel tools, we don't actually have to train our own toolsmiths, necessarily. I kind of do want to buy these. We're pretty good on salt. I probably don't have to buy salt this time. Did we make 330 more treasure here? I'm not sure, actually. We have a lot of timber. Yeah, we can make it on timber, because I could sell almost all of this. In fact, we could sell literally all of this. Yes, comfortable with that. Bam. Give me those steel weapons. Turns out, logging camps are powerful. Alright, so... Can I just come back and recapture my gatherer? Can that gatherer pillage stuff? I'm not sure what they're doing with it. Why they would bring it down here. Well, I mean, it certainly shouldn't take much military power to get that job done. And I guess I'll just chase them through the wilderness here. So you also stink. I guess you're going to stop here. You can probably go straight back into the... Yeah. And they're a fast learner. Okay. So one of you is going back into the settlement quickly. The other one is going to have to wait. Proper gold mine up. I guess we should try to get eyes on the bandit camp over here and deal with it. I don't know if the archer is going to be capable of handling it by themselves, though. It's possible that the right play is going to end up here, end up being make Roman legions as quickly as possible, and then as some of them finish, use them to attack Orange because he's being such a jerk. We did trivially kill his entire army. That turned out not to be much of a problem. You guys can actually come back inside. We'll figure something out for you. You guys can just dig in again. Oh no, never mind. I should have had the... Well, it looks like I can just cancel it. It didn't actually spend their move points, unlike a lot of other things. Okay, yeah, and they just gave me... I just got my Gatherer back. Weird. Why would they just move the Gatherer down here for me to retake it? I don't understand that at all. Okay, so we definitely don't want to attack here. I'm gonna hang out right there and keep an eye on these guys. Alright, so we're bringing in 4 iron per turn above the amount that we're spending on tools. Oh, that seems like a poor play on their part, because now we can just crush them, right? Did there suddenly spawn a new one? Okay, weird. There was certainly only one guy on that tile when I attacked. Graphics, man. Sometimes graphics don't accurately report what is actually happening in the game. What do I want this gatherer to do? Do you need to be gathering? You don't want to be in honor. But no, you also were coming home for retraining. So we're actually going to need a fair amount of parchment, probably. We have a lot of people who have to get retrained. Okay, stinky guys. You have to get out of the settlement. So, what are we going to make you? We don't really need a lot more people out gathering resources. We're kind of done with that phase of the game. Like, even as we're bringing gatherers back, I'm contemplating making these guys gatherers and just sending them out to pick berries. The clans that we had out gathering didn't have to be out gathering, right? Oh no, you kind of do. You have to be out doing something. Well, I mean, we still have farmable spots. I guess we're just going to make a bunch of farmers. Let's train this filthy clan in the magic of agriculture. Oh, you need charcoal to make steel, don't you? And that's not actually avoidable. Yeah, there's no other way to make steel, right? Certainly don't see any. So we need coal makers. Yeah, I mean, we certainly have the timber to support that. And then you need to become a farmer. Okay, actually slightly faster to train again. That actually... Okay, it did not make the noise. We have a number of clans that just have to kind of sit outside of the settlement and wait their turn because of their various odors and attitude problems. Then this is a surveyor. Okay, well that turned out to be a much easier camp to pillage than I was expecting. And hey, look who it is. It's Clan Bader. They're back, and they still love surveying. So somebody has to become a coal maker. And we have all these clans that are coming back from all of their gathering, right? This is their stuff. So you are rustic. And also sullen. Never engages in feuds. Mood is never better than upset, which reduces resource output, but yeah, okay, you can work inside the settlement. That shouldn't be a problem. Sorry, so we need you to become a farmer and just get the hell out of here. And then profession stuff, we probably want to pick up a couple of coal maker upgrades, right? Actually, who knows? How much steel are we going to be consuming each turn? 4. So I suppose we need to make sure we're actually going to be able to produce that. So you're going to get retrained. You're just going to keep waiting. It's a shame we can't tell them to dig in. And what do we want to do with this man-at-arms? We probably want them hanging out up on the north side of our territory because attacks from Orange are, I think, the most likely. I was going to identify this, but actually, let's look around a little bit more. Is that horse bandit came from somewhere, right? And I don't think it was this camp. It looked like they came over the mountains, so I'm wondering if there's more camps over that way. I suppose if there are more camps over that way, we're going to want our man-at-arms to head in that direction instead, because this archer is not going to be able to handle another camp by themselves. Let's have a look before we commit the man-at-arms to any more movement. Aha! Let's just play a little bit of defense over here. Man, we really, we moved to a really bandit-dense area. A bandit-rich environment, if you will. Yeah, I guess just come and get grapes. I managed to get them out of there without them starting any feuds or anything. You guys are also going to have to patiently wait outside the settlement for your turn. And we have some steel armor available. And that is really, like, the only thing we would buy here, right? I guess we could buy some coal just to get the steel production started. That's probably worth doing. If we can put together the money to buy the steel armor now, we can send somebody off to become a Roman legion immediately. Which I think I actually do want to do. So, it's a lot of money. We have some assets, though. We have a lot of stone blocks. We have a lot of stone. And we're producing the stone way faster than we're using it, so we actually could just sell all of our stone. That's no problem at all. And then we need to sell a very small amount of things to get the rest of the way done here. We don't have any use for these horses. And that'll cover it. Give me that. And then, who wants to become a Roman legion? And I don't want to pull you back. I mean, that was the plan originally, right? These guys can become Roman legions. They have to be in the settlement, I think. Train Clan Edlef. Yeah, +1 power, and also they got some morale. That will do. Okay, so who's training in what now? We need somebody to become the charcoal maker. It's probably you guys, because you're going to be good at that. Or actually, do we want to make them... Maybe I'll make them the steel armor smith? Because they already have so many levels, right? Yeah, let's do that. why is that a 10-turn train? Oh, well, they are unhappy. Okay, hold on. I thought I was looking at their turn value for training time there, but apparently it just, the game just feels like this is a 3-ish turn trading, right? And you don't have anybody selected, so we are going to have to actually train up Clanburn in this discipline a little bit first. Fortunately, we have the parchment to support that. And now we probably do not need another upgrade to our coal production. Probably don't need upgrades to the steel toolsmith. Yeah, let's finish this upgrade, I suppose. You know, actually, we should get the, we'll finish training them up. We should get somebody swapped over to Coalmaker first. So let's train you guys in metalworking and get that done. You guys are just living here for a little while. So yeah, 5 defense power. Unfortunately, does not really leave us in a place where our archer is ready to do any real damage here. Probably just going to have you dig in for the moment. Keep them on their side of the river for the moment. And then we'll have the man-at-arms come over and deal with it. And if we should get attacked by orange again in the interim, well, it will be unfortunate. Not that we couldn't do anything to fix it, but, you know, it would certainly be non-zero time. Bunch of effort that I would rather not have to spend. So at this point, do we have any researches that matter at all? I don't think so, right? I guess we could pick up man-at-arms upgrades. I'm not going to spend steel armor and weapons on that. We could pick up... Nope, none of that stuff matters. None of this stuff matters. We're not going to get this cheesemaker upgrade, probably. But, like, we have to research something. Oh, I need cloth. It's probably not a big deal. 5 turns is the amount of time it's going to take the next caravan to arrive, so we will be able to just purchase cloth. And Rude has become resentful. You know, it really doesn't matter. If they're not going to leave, we can just kind of ignore them. I guess this will be a good time to figure out if it is possible for a clan to become so resentful that they leave. I'm going to end up training these guys up to the level that those other guys are already at, aren't I? Homemaker's a level 5 profession, so no, not quite. Yeah, alright. Let us continue the training then. We'll do that one more time after that. You are just waiting. No sense in even having them forage, really. You are also just waiting. Feuds are really annoying. It's unfortunate that we have to sit here and just kind of wait with these guys to avoid getting into a feud. But training time is a serious bottleneck. So I guess we just pick an upgrade on something that we're currently using, anything that we're currently using. I don't know, man. Again, none of this stuff matters. We already have all of the research we need. It's just a matter of waiting for it to become applicable. Okay, it being so hot is not super good for us, but it won't affect our food output because our food is entirely based on cheese making now. Cheese making does seem extremely powerful. Alright, you guys want one more of those, right? Yep. And then, I don't know, man. In theory, it's at least possible we might do that upgrade. Certainly not likely. It's weird how sometimes I click and it seems like it goes right through the button. It unselects the unit, the clan, as though I had clicked on the map. But I'm like reasonably sure I clicked in the area of that button. I certainly clicked in the general vicinity of the button. Alright, so now we have our coal maker going, which means we have our steel maker going. Which means we now need to pay attention to what our iron income looks like. So this turn we'll produce some coal, and then next turn we're gonna start making steel, I think. Alright, this should be pretty easy with the man-at-arms, which is apparently vastly superior to any other unit we might see from anybody else. Okay, so you are making 4 coal each turn. And you are consuming 4 coal each turn. If we're going to upgrade anybody, we probably want it to be you. Because we're going to want to use the steel in multiple different things. So that's a good use of our tools for the moment. And then Clan Burn needs to keep getting retrained. And hey, we're actually going to be able to get a free upgrade on them. So we've got a creative clan with a brown thumb. How many brown thumbs do we have in this game? So they really want to be in metalworking, crafting, or discovery. Well, good news. Have I got a deal for you? Alright, the caravan has arrived. We need to have, ideally, 18 more cloth this turn. I'm sure you can provide. We're also being offered steel weapons and steel armor. We don't have a huge amount of money to work with here, but we certainly can sell some things. We do need to buy salt. Although, if we ended up out of food production for a little while, it wouldn't kill us. We have a ton of turns of stored food. Alright, let's start with the cloth. We know we need 18 cloth. Let's do that. Because I don't want there to be even a single turn where I am not drawing new clans. Then, let's talk about whether or not it is possible for us to buy these armor and weapons. We can certainly sell all of our timber. We can certainly sell all of our stone. We don't have a ton of other stuff that is highly valued here. We could sell all of the parchment. It's not a huge amount of extra money. I guess the best thing we could do here would be to buy... to get another Roman Legion running right now, right? So if we could afford to buy 10 steel armor and 5 steel weapons, that would be good. Unfortunately, steel weapons are a little more expensive than usual, so we're looking at $225 on that, and then the standard $600 for the steel armor. That's an awful lot of money. I don't think I can generate that. We can sell all of these normal weapons. We don't really need these. Yeah, we're not going to get anywhere near it. Even if we sold all of our steel blocks, all of our iron, yeah, we just don't get there. Well, I can certainly buy the steel weapons. I can buy 5 steel weapons, at least. Put us on 10 for that. And then... I guess the question is, I'm just going to buy the rest of the steel weapons, I guess? We're going to get our steel armor smith up before our steel weapon smith. Or I might already have our steel armor smith up. But yeah, we're going to do this first anyway. So being ahead on weapons, I think makes good sense. And then we'll just buy salt with the rest of the money. That seems fine to me. Right, you guys have to wait. We are still not ready for you to step in yet. How many turns would it be for you? Okay, it's only 2 turns for you to become the armor smith. I'm going to go ahead and do one more discipline train. just that they hit the experience cap. And then I can actually have you swap back to parchment, because that is what we are going to need. And I guess we'll grab the other steel armorsmith upgrade. Okay, so we're slightly negative on coal. Oh, you know what? I got the coal maker upgrade, but we didn't actually apply it, which we can do in just a couple of turns. That is what we're doing with tools next. All right, who's doing what now? We still need a weaponsmith. But that's it, right? We'll be going through the steel pretty quickly, I guess. 4 steel. Okay. So a steel weaponsmith and a steel armorsmith each use as much steel as is produced by a single steelmaker. So what we actually need is another steelmaker, if we don't want to be bottlenecked on production, which is unfortunate because we do not have the iron income to support that, nor the charcoal income. So we're going to have to rely on the Caravan selling us extra iron and stuff, probably. Or just selling us extra steel. We could just buy the steel from the Caravan and skip the second steelmaker entirely. That may in fact be what we do. May as well pillage. More stuff to sell in the near future, and it looks like we might actually have done it this time. We might finally be clear. I guess we don't know what lies down here. Could be bandits anywhere over there. You need to go and scout. We really did move over to an area that had a ton of bandits. Probably resource-dense areas are like that. And Wolfric, who is... Okay. You got it. We will deal with you. Let's just go ahead and train them now, right? Do I want to take this upgrade for free, or do I want to take the stone block one for free? Stone blocks are pretty expensive. Steel tools are also pretty... Yeah, I'll just take that for free. Reduce the armor as efficiently as possible. Okay, and then train Clan Wolfric, you, in metalworking, which I know you will love. So unfortunately, it is possible that we could get into feuds even while becoming Roman legions. But actually, I think that's what these guys are going to end up doing, is just becoming Roman legions, and if they get into feuds, we'll punish them, because the happiness level of a Roman legion matters 0%. Matters not even one tiny little bit. So really, what I need more than this is the other coal maker upgrade. We just need to be making more coal. That's got to happen. You guys just encamp. You are waiting for your opportunity. Alright, now that you've done that, I think the only thing to do is to come back over here and play defense against orange for the moment. So unfortunately, we've hit winter, which seems to slow down the caravans. They come slower over the winter period. It's time you offered me a token of your appreciation for the fact that I'm so nice to you. Don't make me laugh. Look at how high my global reputation is. Everybody hates me, but at least my reputation's really a very high numerical abstract value. Yeah, we may have to engage in some violence over here. In order to do the Magister Militum thing... Okay, all of the Roman legions do have to be in the settlement in order to do that. That's a bit of a shame. Because if they didn't have to be, I'd feel a lot more comfortable sending them off into the into Orange's territory. We just recall them back to go to Rome at any moment. Alright, so you guys are going to need a lot more training. We also need to get to 30 tools, which means I need to not take the coal upgrade right away. Yeah, I ended up needing a lot more tools than I thought I was going to. Alright, well for now we can just continue training Clan Wolfric in the discipline. That'll be good enough. We know we have to get pretty high. How high exactly? Weaponsmith is a level 7? Okay. You know, blacksmith upgrades sound pretty okay. I do have some steel. We could definitely afford to lose some steel. Clan Kendrick and Aaron are now fighting. Clan Aaron is engineers. Clan Kendrick is... Yep, okay. And Kendrick is punished. Sorry. The engineers are a little bit too important. That feels like a really terrible way to resolve that. Like, it made sense right now, but I think in the long term, that's probably a pretty bad play. Because now the engineers are going to know that I will let them get away with stuff, and something tells me that that will result in them causing a whole lot more trouble. Just a feeling I have. Alright, Clan Wolfric is definitely going to require additional training. We need to study the other blacksmithing upgrade, probably. And then we just barely don't have the steel to make this thing happen, because we're using it almost exactly at replacement rate. So I actually can't take that blacksmith upgrade yet. I probably need to slap an upgrade on my steelmaker. Okay, you're the steelmaker. We do not have an upgrade available for you right now, so that's probably something we could change. Oh, they have this already. I mean, that's a thing we could do. I assume they have that already, because, you know, they don't have the upgrade arrow here. I do wish it showed you on the clan what upgrades they had. It seems like a little bit of an oversight that it doesn't. Alright, we can do one more discipline training for you. Yep, still gaining parchment, even with all the spending we're doing. Oh, and we have enough resources, actually, to start making another Magister. Or start making another Roman Legion. So let's do that. You guys. You can gather the blood of your enemies. Oh, did we finally hunt that? Yeah, we finally hunted that herd of deer out. Okay, well, probably you're going to become a Roman Legion. So we have 2 in the queue. We need, after this turn's steel armor production, we need another 23. So, like, 6 more turns. Then we'll be able to, just tell the armor maker to pause. 6 turns off of the next caravan. Oh. This is actually a dead end. No, never mind. It just doesn't connect over to the east like I thought it would. That's almost the same thing. Yeah, I guess you can come back and have a seat next to the settlement just like everybody else. We need to wait one more turn to have enough tools to do this. So, what can we do that will be of value in the meantime? This is the last training we have to do, isn't it? I guess just produce treasure? Make it easier for us to buy our way out of whatever problems we might have when the caravan arrives. We're producing an awful lot of money. Okay, so now we train you guys as steel weaponsmiths, and that's it, right? That's the last meaningful decision of the game, I think. We do have some simple management tedium type stuff that we have to deal with here. Walking people around very slowly in the snow. Okay, these bandits are probably not really a problem for me. Let's see, we're just about at the hour, huh? Well, let's finish the game. It might make this run a little bit long, but the next episode will probably not be terribly interesting. So, the rest of this game will not be terribly interesting, because like I said, we just made our last meaningful decision. So you guys are not good at morale. You will never commit theft or engage in brawls or feuds. Okay. So I was a little worried about dramatic, but apparently they will never engage in feuds. So it turns out they can just sit here in the settlement forever. I guess we don't even have to actually just sit here, right? We could go hunting. We could go and pursue violence rather than waiting for it to arrive naturally. And I guess you can come and identify this animal? Let's see, we have 2 people out. Now, we do just need bodies who are going to become Roman legions. Alright, so now that we are done with all this stuff, I do want to produce more steel per turn. We don't need the steel blocks very much anymore. We need more, I mean, we just need more steel, right? In 4 turns, we'll be able to buy a bunch of extra steel. Now, you're producing as much as you can, but probably what we should do here is train up another steelmaker. What am I doing? This is the wrong button. Discipline. This is what I wanted. New guy. You look crazy. Let's put you in the forge. Can't see how that could go wrong. We'll buy extra steel. We'll buy extra steel components. You know, we'll get it figured out. So we don't actually need upgrades anymore. We are done. We're done with upgrades. So I guess I'm gonna put on a long research here. I guess in theory maybe that could help. That's not going to occur in time for it to matter. We're gonna just run out of salt after this other caravan will get here too. These guys want to be who? Clan Geisbert? Which one is that? I have so many clans at this point. Oh, you guys. You know, I hate to say too bad, but like that is what I'm going to say. That's a real shame, but I just don't have time to don't have time for your desires right now. You need to just make those, whatever it is you're making, charcoal, something. Just keep burning that wood, I guess. Yeah, we can take a look around in Orange's territory. Can't necessarily guarantee that we're going to be able to get anything cool done. You know, honestly, we don't need the other steelmaker. Because in 2 turns, we're going to turn off the steel armor maker, and then we'll be fine on weapons. In fact, what I actually should do here is turn off the steel armor maker now. I should have turned them off a little earlier. Stop work. And the reason for that is that the caravan could potentially have steel armor on it. Right, like if it has steel weapons, we'll buy steel weapons. If it has steel armor, we'll buy steel armor. But if I got us to the point where we no longer need steel armor, then a caravan showing up with armor and no weapons would be a wasted opportunity. So I should have stopped us at 20 armor. And then we could have made the last 10 armor after making all the weapons. You know, make all of the last guy's stuff at the same time. Small error. Not a big deal. Go poke around inside their borders. Let's see. They got some stuff dug in here, but this appears to be an archer. Not really terrifying. So then what do we want? I suppose... oh, you hit free level up. Suppose even more treasure is actually the answer to that. Let's train Clan Kendrick in honor. We'll just make them also guildmasters. Maybe? At this point, it's somewhat unlikely that it will make much of a difference, right? Oh, they're coming after us. That seems unwise. You should definitely... Oh, okay. Our guy disappeared for a second there. I was like, what? What the hell kind of archer was that? They used the archer sprite because they didn't have a better one. But that guy had a gun. We will capture this Saxon settlement. We'll be in a state of occupation forever. I have assumed your permanent ownership. So that's how hard it is to unlock playable factions. Feels a little bit like there should be more to it than that, but that's how it is. Alright, you guys can enter the settlement, and then we're going to send you off to Rome. You guys need to get over here, because we may send you off to Rome in the very near future. Okay, yeah, this looks pretty clear. Train... How many turns are we talking about here? If we're producing 5 per... So we need 20 more weapons. If the caravan has nothing interesting in it, we need 20 more weapons, which is 8 turns, plus 2 more turns of this. So I only need, at most, 10 turns to send off the rest of our guys from Roman Legion training, which means that actually training either of these guys up was kind of a small error because there's no way they will produce any resources in time for it to affect the game in any way. I should have just been producing treasure this whole time to ease my ability to buy both weapons and armor, should weapons and armor show up. And if weapons and armor don't show up, then we're just down to the build rate of our current clans anyway. Nope, no weapons, no armor. Okay, so... in that case, very little of this matters. The best thing to do here would be to buy all of their steel. We also want to buy all the salt. And then we reactivate this guy for 2 turns. And then we're just waiting on the weapon crafter. When the armor crafter finishes his job, we make him also a weapon crafter, I guess. And how close are you guys? You guys are pretty far off of being able to be a weaponsmith. We would need more tools. And if we had those tools, I would need to do a couple more discipline trains. I mean, I'll just buy the tools, right? We'll just buy some tools because there's no reason not to. We have way more treasure than we need to finish the game. I'm gonna just buy 10 cows. Bam, maximum cheese making efficiency. But not necessary. not at all necessary. And then we're just good. I'm just done. Actually, hold on. We do have upgrades we could do. Wait, do I seriously not have 15 stone blocks? No, I totally do. Why is this upgrade grayed out? Okay, it's grayed out, but it wasn't supposed to be. I was able to just do that. You could produce more coal, but I don't need you to produce more coal. There's no steel tools on the thing, right? Yeah, we cannot get the other upgrade. And it's probably better to train this guy up into a tool worker than it is to train this guy up to level 10. But there's a real good chance that neither one of those things results in us actually... there's a real good chance that that doesn't make a difference in terms of time to win. Turns to win. Okay, so we pillaged that. We could be the Saxons next time, I suppose. Looks like there's nothing else really up here, probably. Well, okay. So that's a little bit sad. We could have gotten this done very slightly faster. You guys would be best off training in metalworking again. Let's kind of look around. Man-at-Arms definitely should come home. Okay, so now we retrain. Let's see. So you need to get in the settlement and get set up to be a Roman legion. Oh, right. They're guilty of a crime. I'm going to punish them now for their crime here in the settlement so that they don't bum everybody else out. Because technically they're in the settlement, despite the fact that they're definitely not in the settlement right now. You can't get in the water to attack that guy. You just really need to come home. So yeah, as it is right now, it seems like the AI is just not really there. Like they're not ready to provide a challenge or anything like that. So armor crafter guy becomes a weaponsmith. And then we make the other guy also a weaponsmith, and I don't even know if that will help much. Because with the 2 weaponsmiths up, are we going to... Well, I mean, like, either way, we have the weapons in 2 turns, right? So it doesn't actually help us to make this other guy a weaponsmith. It doesn't help us to make him anything. I guess we could probably just, honestly, let's try to reduce the amount of time we need to click here. So you are now going to become an oil presser. The reason for that is that is the thing that is going to take the longest to train. Trying to minimize clicks necessary to end the game. Okay. For it is no longer possible, understand, to optimize for turns. Now we are optimizing for human seconds. So you guys can just dig in. We'll have one of the clans, a random one of the clans that is in the settlement now, can become the final legion. And it really is from there just a matter of clicking finish turn until we are done. I find this problem comes up a lot in 4X games. They don't really have a good way. You are paranoid and you're lazy. That's amazing. What an incredibly useful clan. Boy, do I have the job for you. Go off and represent us in Rome. I'm sure they'll love you. It's a problem for 4X games in general, right? Like, how do you make it so that the game ends at the moment when the last interesting decision is made? I don't know that there's a good solution to that. It's just like a very complicated thing. Okay, clans Nana and Aland are feuding. Are those both clans that are... Yes, they are. Both clans that are out to Rome. Alright, you're punished. We're good with this. This clan wants to shout at me. That's fine. I understand that. You showed up. I immediately jammed a bunch of weapons into your hand and said, walk that way for 2 solid years. And then as you were leaving, I screamed at you. I get why you might be upset with that. Well, like, in this... I'm saying that it's difficult. It's difficult to programmatically recognize the moment that the last interesting decision is made, so as to end the game there. If we were playing a game against other human beings at this moment, they would, of course, scoop, right? They would say, okay, I see that the game is over. Fine, we're done. But doing that programmatically is tricky because these games are complicated by their very nature. However, I do want to say that in this case, it seems like a really obvious thing that, like, this could just be a win the game button. It doesn't need to wait 24 turns after you press it. Because what would have to happen for you to be in a position to press this button, but not be able to then survive 24 turns, right? That would be a very extraordinary circumstance. So I guess I was going to wait until we were properly out of the game, but I guess this is as good a time as any to say that I think a lot of the stuff that is going on in this game is really neat. I am a fan of a lot of the core design elements. I think that the basic sort of kernel of this... Oh, we're being attacked. A single bandit has come out of nowhere to sacrifice himself upon our dug-in archer. Clan Geisbert has become angry. Whatever, man. I don't care about you, Clan Geisbert. I can't even remember which guy you are. Oh, there's no salt at this caravan. That's a shame. Well, we might lose food for a little while, shockingly. It is technically possible for us to starve still, if we stopped producing food entirely. I suppose. But where I was going with that, as you might have guessed, is that this is going to be the last episode of this series for right now. I think that the core of this game is really cool, but as I have probably expressed a couple of times over the last couple of episodes, this game really feels like it's not finished yet to me. Like, the AI is just not in there, kind of at all. At least this game, we saw them group up some units and attack us. But they attacked us very late in the game with very, very early units. And the whole concept of attacking us late in the game is a little strange, right? Because they're not players in the game in the same way we are. They're not doing the thing we're doing. So to say late in the game, kind of like that doesn't have anything to do with their state of advancement. It kind of seems like they don't advance, right? And I guess that's okay, since their role is not to challenge you in the game, but instead to provide sort of an element of the world for you to overcome, as though they were a large bandit camp, or like, honestly, resources on a tile or whatever. You know, you're overcoming that static object in the world. But that means that you need to be encountering more difficult enemies as your game wears on, or else you get to this point where we have a single man-at-arms, and he's functionally invincible, right? Nothing anybody could do will kill this unit. I don't know how that problem is solved. What I do know... Okay, so there's a bandit camp over here. We should probably back off. I guess I should encamp for one turn and then back off. Also, if this unit died, it wouldn't it wouldn't matter at all. You know what? I'm actually going to do this. I'm going to have these guys walk for there. We'll just queue that all up. Yeah, I don't know how that problem is solved. What I do know is that there is a post-release plan. They have an idea. They know how they're going to support the game going forward. There are going to be a bunch of upgrades, or updates rather. So I intend to come back to this. We will, once some of the patches have hit. I know that there is one update planned that is just, we're gonna put the AI in the game, which in one sense is very comforting because, hooray, that's a thing this game desperately needs. In another sense, is like, well, why did you release it before you had the AI in it? But listen, if you are not familiar with the story of the production of this game, the story of the development of this game, I would encourage you to go look that up. The main dude of Conifer Games, John Shafer, wrote a blog post right about official release time, detailing a little bit of what he went through as he was trying to get this thing finished. And it is a harrowing tale, no doubt. So I'm not trying to say that, like, hey, you should have done more work on this. But I don't know. If I had released this game, I would have released it in Steam on early access. You know, it's not really that much different. Just like put the early access tag on it. Okay, you're probably far enough away now. And you, for real, I want you to go over here. Look at all this treasure. I guess I could have bought salt at that caravan. Whatever, there's another caravan in 5 turns. You know, I don't know what turn we won on last time. Okay, we're 3 more turns away from being able to press the other button. And I guess I don't really need to do this. I'm going to go ahead and finish it out, but at this point, we probably could just say, yeah, I got it, and quit. I'm stubborn, though. I want to see that victory screen that we've seen already. Glass blowers. Let's learn how to blow glass. Where was I? I don't even remember where I was. I do think, though, that the idea of each point of your population having actual meaningful differences from one another is really good. I think that one of the weakest parts of modern 4X design in my opinion, and we're already moving away from this, so it's possible that I'm making this observation like 5 years too late, is the way it treats your population sort of like a gestalt consciousness, like single brain, everybody in your empire always wants the same things. And like I said, we're getting away from that already. You know, Endless Space 2 is doing a good job of that. I love the fact that in Endless Space 2, you are not necessarily in control of your government. Like, your citizens actually have some mechanical weight there and can sometimes screw up your plans a little bit by voting in political parties that are inconvenient for your goals, or voting out political parties that are convenient for your goals, which is the more common version of that thing. So we're getting away from it, and with this, we're getting away from it. But I have thought for a long time that it might be interesting to have a 4X game, and at this point in the video, we're just on the Magister Militum. Hooray! So all I have left is this little tooltip. It seems like they could put the numbers like on the button there at this point. But yeah, at this point in the video, we're just at SB idly muses stuff about game mechanics, because I need to press this button 24 more times. I've thought a lot that it would be really interesting to make a 4X game where your citizens, your society sort of develops values, right? Because different societies throughout history have certainly valued different things in various members of those societies. And the things that your society values affect the way they react to things. So like in Endless Space 2, for example, you have events that are like, you know, you discover a starship floating around and it has people in it, and they're refugees of global climate disaster that made their home planet completely unsurvivable. What do we do? And there are options, you know, there's an option that's like, your people like it when you do this thing and you gain approval. Your people don't like it when you do this one, so you lose approval, but you gain some science. I think it would be really interesting if a big part of the game was trying to, in whatever way makes sense, craft the views of your people such that you can change the way they react to events like that. And so it becomes about making your crafting your people's views in the long term such that they are more likely to think positively of the types of things that you are going to have to do to seek victory, you know? The struggle there, I think, could be really interesting in the same way that the struggle in Endless Space 2 to try to make sure that your people want the policies that you want is interesting. So it turns out this bandit camp, if one exists here, is not not something I can reach from this side of the mountains. Wait, no, I'm trying to issue a long-term move order. Got a new clan. We are going to get up to a pretty impressive number of clans here. The thing is, oh, hey, that's a bandit. What are you doing here? Fortunately, that thing is all torn up. It should not be very difficult to run off. I've been intentionally not doing anything here. If I had been focusing on fame and stuff, oof, you sure are fast. We could have had a really impressive number of total clans. Also, look at all those steel weapons. We've really put together quite a collection. Oh, what a bad time for the snow. What's the highest number? Colliers. Colliers works. Are we going to be done with the game in 8 turns? No, we will have to research a little bit more after that. Yeah, it seems like bandits just die to the weather really easily. It seems strange, but that's not the first time we've seen that happen, right? Like a little bit of weather hit and they just keel over. I wonder if bandits have particularly bad supply. Oh, you know what? Both times it happened, it was a cavalry unit, though, right? So maybe the oh, that's right. This is the part of this part of the soundtrack that has vocals. I'm just going to switch the music real quick there. Okay. I guess the issue there is that the bandit AI is not super good at managing the high supply cavalry units. Because all cavalry units require 2 supply per turn, right? As we learned from our attempt to capture another clan at the end of the last game, trying to move around with 2 supply units in anything other than an open field is a huge pain in the ass. It is kind of funny how that mechanic sort of makes cavalry units terrible at moving around outside of your own territory. You would think that you would want a fast unit. Man, I don't even know what to do with you. Here, come home. You would think that you would want fast-moving cavalry units for doing stuff outside of your territory, and that you could afford to use slower units inside your territory. But really, you are very much incentivized to keep your cavalry units indoors, so to speak, because of the fact that tiles that you have control over provide bonus supply. That's really the only way to keep a cavalry unit able to move around all the time. Yeah, that's probably an unintended side effect of the design. I can't imagine that that's how they wanted it. I think the supply system could use a little bit of work too. It's not a bad system, and like I said last episode, I think it does make you make interesting decisions, it does make you make interesting decisions sometimes. But a lot of the time, all it does is just like increase the tedium. During winter, your units move slower, and that makes sense. You know, units moving long distances in the winter, our armies marching long distances in the winter would be slower. But the way in which they move slower is that you have to keep clicking in camp and then re-clicking your destination, and then clicking in camp and then re-clicking your destination. A curious and intimidating clan. No other clans on the tile may commit crimes, never engages in feuds. So there's actually quite a few of these traits that prevent all crime. I thought we'd stumbled on something really rare and valuable when we found that gregarious guy, but I guess it was just because we didn't see any of that in the first game. How far are we? Pretty close, right? 3 turns remaining. So we're going to end this in mid-408. I think that's faster than last time. I'm not certain how much faster. It's going to be an entire society of oil pressers with nothing to press into oil. We'll just roam the landscape, trying desperately to press everything we find into some kind of oil, which we will then, of course, rub on our wounds, because that's what oil is for. Just get inside the settlement. Everybody inside the settlement. Stop asking me for orders. So yeah, turn mid-408. I don't know what turn number this is. 35 clans. That seems pretty good. I think that this... that's not the button I wanted. Is it next turn? Yeah. I think that this seems like a pretty good tribe. Getting to start with a ton of bonus clans is really, really cool. Alright, so... like I said, that's going to be it for the series for now, but before we go, I do want to have a quick look. The Saxons. Starts the game next to the ocean with a free galley. Okay, that is interesting, and that would probably give us a little bit of different gameplay, because we haven't interacted with the water at all in these previous games, but it would probably only be different gameplay for a little while at the very beginning of the game, and then we would fall into probably the same economic pattern that we fell into here, because the systems definitely drive you in that direction. Military victory is possible, but it does, and honestly, probably very, very easy, because the AI does not seem to have any idea how to defend themselves. But you're really not in... the supply system disincentivizes you, and the fact that the good military units are made out of the same resources that you have to get in order to get the other victory type also disincentivizes the military victory. I hope they'll do some work on that. I hope they'll make maybe another victory type or two that's a little different to incentivize some different decision making, because I have to think the way things are now, you're going to end up using the same professions and making the same decisions a lot over multiple games of this. And that's a shame, because like I said, I really think that they've got something really, really cool here at the core. So, that is going to be it for us for today and for this series for now. Thank you all so much for watching. When the major patches drop for this, we will definitely revisit it. I'm curious to see what this game looks like with improved AI, with the systems built out a little bit more, and just sort of with a little bit more time to bake. So thank you all so much for watching, and come back next time, tomorrow, for all the other cool stuff that we're still doing on the channel. And we'll see you then.